Hello and welcome to Promenade Française. I think I need to put on my glasses for this one. Over the last several months, as I've been learning French and as I've been creating videos about the process of me learning French, I'm trying to figure out what is the best way in order to learn French. How do you move forward in a language? What's the best way to do it? And right now, I'm leaning more toward the concept of verbs. I think that the verb is really the place that unlocks the language. Why? Because the verb describes the relationship between all the other things in the sentence. I'm not saying that every sentence has a verb, but I would say that the majority of sentences have verbs, and especially for beginners. We started this journey with the very first sentence in the book that I wrote with my good buddy, ChatGPT. First, I wrote the outline of the story of a girl named Marie and her cat. The very first scene is Marie and her cat. Actually, the book, it contains all the different things that Marie does during her day. And book number 2 is a character named Nicolas. In the book, Greetings in French, Part 1, and Greetings in French, Part 2, you're going to learn about the two main characters of this story. The difficult thing is it may take you a long time to understand the story because it's written in French. The book does contain an English translation of all of the French sentences, and there are also audio files. The audio file can give you the opportunity to listen to the conversations in both English and in French within one file. There's another file that only contains the French, but the situations I tell you in English. And then the final audio file is just the French conversation. And you can listen to those audio files after you buy the book. There are additional audio files. They are related to pronunciation and the concept of how I think that French pronunciation should be taught. All of those things are available on the website promenadefrancaise.com. Now, back to where we are in the study of French. You see, now that I've created these textbooks and I actually have to start learning French, I'm discovering that French is not so easy as just memorizing sentences. It would be nice if I could just memorize sentences, but it seems like I need something a little bit more. I need to memorize the sentences, and I also need to understand how the sentences work in order to change different elements in the sentence. And then the question is, which elements do you change? For example, let's say that the sentence is, I see you. What makes a more drastic change? If I say that he sees you, or I see him, if we use the same verb, or if we change the verb and we say, I give you. Obviously, the more drastic change is the change of the verb. It's not only a more drastic change because the nature of the sentence is changing, but also because there are a lot of different rules that are related to the types of verbs that you're using. In the very first sentence in the book, Marie, she says, Bonjour Sam, tu es très mignon. Comment vas-tu ce matin? So the very first sentence, she says,
Tu es très mignon.
Très mignon. And the word est means être, or in English we say to be. In this sentence specifically, we would say you are. You are so cute. And the question is like, okay, so what is the nature of the word être? What is the nature of this verb? What are other ways that we can use the verb in order to understand French better, and specifically how to understand this verb? Number 1 is this example that I just told you. It's using an adjective. For example, you could say, Je suis grande. Il est content. Elle est fatiguée. So these are things like I am tall, he is happy, she is tired. All right, these are a very simple way to use the verb être. And if you want to improve your French, then all you have to do is grow your vocabulary with adjectives. And it also helps you understand that adjectives are always in masculine, feminine, singular, and plural. Number 2 is noun. A noun is something like Je suis étudiant. Il est médecin. Elle est artiste. So things like I am a student, he is a doctor, she is an artist. In this case, all you have to do is learn nouns. But then you also have to remember that nouns are, again, just like adjectives, masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. Just like with the adjectives, in this case, to grow your vocabulary, all you have to do is learn more nouns. But at the same time, you have to learn that each noun is either masculine or feminine. That means that when you learn the noun, you need to learn le or la. There's some basic rules about like what the endings look like for nouns that are masculine and what the endings look like for nouns that are feminine. But the general advice is that you should learn each noun with the word le or la to help you remember whether it's masculine or feminine, and you just have to memorize it. Next, we have a prepositional phrase. For example, je suis à Paris. Il est en vacances. I don't know how to say this one. Vacances. So don't learn pronunciation from me. Ils sont dans la cuisine. Okay, so I am in Paris. She is on vacation. They are in the kitchen. In this case, it's a prepositional phrase. It just means it uses a preposition. So we say I am in, she is on, or they are in. This is a case where we have the verb to be, and then we add a preposition. In the fourth case, we have adverbs. For example, he is often there. I am here. He is over there. We are together. This may sound a little bit like a prepositional phrase, but in this case, we're not using prepositions. Rather, we're using adverbs. And remember that an adverb is something that describes, well, I used to think that adverbs were just things that describe verbs. But now I'm finding out that adverbs are basically things that describe other things that are not adjectives. So for example, an adjective always describes a noun, but like I am here, so it's describing where I am. He is over there. I don't know, is it describing am? Is it describing is? We are together. So is it describing are or is it describing we? Anyways, adverbs are kind of weird, and that's the fourth instant of something that we can add to the word être. Finally, we have clauses. So être can introduce a clause for indicating a state or emotion, like I am happy to see you, she is ready to leave, they are happy that you came, you are surprised by the news. In all of these cases, we're using he is, I am, they are, and then we add some kind of clause. I don't know, it seems like a clause. In all of these cases, it doesn't really matter, right? So you're always describing, when we use the word am or is or are, we're always describing the subject. I am tall, that's adjective. I am a man, that's a noun. I am in my apartment. Okay, that's a preposition. I am here, that's an adverb. And I am ready to end this video. All right, so that's 5 ways you can use the word être. And I think by learning verbs in French, it can really help you understand the language of French. To understand more about the verb être, go ahead and click the Linktree link above. Click on the link, All French Teachers Are Wrong, and start your study of the word être.